You're watching ACC Wrestling on ACC Network Extra. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside historic Cameron Indoor Stadium alongside former Blue Devil 149-pounder Dak Adamson. I am Ryan Craig, getting you ready for NC State and Duke. Wolfpack top 5 in the country. The Blue Devils top 25, depending on what poll you're looking at. And Dak, tonight we're going to see top 5 wrestlers at 5 different weight classes. This should be a fantastic match tonight. A lot of good wrestling on display.
That's right, yeah. Both teams have a lot of good wrestlers, and both teams have ranked guys, and we're going to see a lot of great matchups between the Blue Devils and Wolfpack tonight. There's
the series history. They've met quite a bit. 84th meeting between these two. NC State has had the better of it. 8 of the last 10. Duke has won 2 of the last 5. Glenn Lanham has the Blue Devil program on the rise. Pat Popolizio, you could say the very same about NC State. I think both these programs, Dak, are the best maybe they've ever been at this moment.
That's true. Both programs are doing very, very well, and it's the coaches that are doing it. You know, that Oklahoma State wrestling is just permeating the triangle, making all 3 teams in the triangle very good. But you know, Duke and NC State are on the rise, definitely.
Starting off at 125, it's Tommy Cox for NC State. He'll take on Thayer Atkins for the Blue Devils. These two wrestled last year. Atkins getting the better of it. There is Thayer, the senior, one of few seniors for Duke. Very many more freshmen than there are seniors for the Blue Devils.
That's right, yeah. We got the 2 in the lineup. We got Thayer and Casper as seniors, and the growth that Thayer has shown through his career has been tremendous. Every year this guy gets better and better, and every match he goes out there determined to wrestle better than he did the match before.
Atkins, the ability to make NCAAs, according to Coach Glenn Lanham. Tommy Cox 12-4 on the season. 3rd in the Wolfpack Open, actually lost to his teammate in that one. Sean Faw is not wrestling tonight at 125, but he was the one that defeated Cox in the Wolfpack Open.
Yeah, that happens when you throw your own tournament.
Absolutely, and you have really good wrestlers that make it far in the tournaments.
That's right. Stalemate that'll bring back up to their feet. So usually during the first period, the wrestlers go through kind of a feel-out phase, kind of see what's happening here, feel each other out, see what's going to work. 125 and the lower weight classes usually do see a good amount of action because the smaller guys, they move fast, they move a lot. They are in a nice shot there. Nice little knee pull here. He didn't get the takedown, but he ended up in a front headlock here. He can still use that inside trip to get the single. He's going to bring it up to his feet, and he keeps going for the head there because he's going for a cradle where you get the head and the knee, you pull them together, you can put them on their back.
It's a nice job by Cox there to avoid the takedown. Clears the hips.
Great defense. I mean, he's got a nationally ranked guy to practice with him every day. So
it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
By the way, Fall is just a note, no injury or anything, just sheerly and purely maintenance for him. Obviously, he's got his eyes on the major prize of an NCAA championship, and so they just monitor his reps and monitor the number of times he wrestles during the year, so he's totally fine. Well, it's Tommy Cox's turn tonight here in Cameron Indoor Stadium. Minute 30 to go here in the first. No points as of yet.
Offensively, it's been kind of Thayer the whole way. Cox, shown great shot defense, but not really thrown out much offense of his own. And there you go. The ref's going to warn him for stalling, so you get 1 warning, and then if you get hit for stalling again, that's a point for your opponent. So Thayer now, he knows that he's got the warning, so if I were him, I would be attacking continuously. For Cox, I would start picking up my offense so I don't get dinged for stalling again, because in these college matches, 1 point is everything.
2 wrestlers on their feet, 40 seconds to go in the first period.
Thayer in on another deep shot here. He's been going for the cradle, hasn't been working. Oh, Cox there with good shot defense. Thayer stays on the leg. Thayer's been going to the head for that cradle, but I don't think he'll continue that because it hasn't been working very well. Now Thayer's going to hook that leg. A little potentially dangerous there. The knee was, tweaked out instead of just its natural bending.
17 seconds to go. Wrestlers to their feet. NC State coming in 10-1 in duels this year. Blue Devils 2-3.
Double leg there, and he gets hit for stalling again, so Thayer's going to get that point we talked about.
1-0 with Thayer Atkins. Late stages of the first.
Cox, his shot defense looks really, really good tonight.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, certainly for Tommy Cox.
That's right, yeah.
Thayer Atkins will take a 1-0 lead into the second period. Looks like Cox will start on the bottom. He'll try to escape to tie the score quickly.
And Thayer's going to look to ride him out because in college you get that riding time. If at the end of the match you have 60 seconds or more, you get an extra point.
Trying to expose the back there.
Yeah, get some of the near fall points. Can help rack up the score pretty quick. Yeah, so Thayer's going to let him go there because if you don't return him to the mat, you can get called for a stalling call. Thayer's been working that single leg, but Cox is defending. Thayer's going to go for a little spin behind, gets a takedown.
The first takedown of the evening belongs to Thayer Atkins and the Blue Devils, a 3-1 lead for the Duke 125-pounder.
Thayer does a really good job of riding hard. He's got that crossbody ride where he goes across the head, but Cox with the reversal. Thayer got a little too high, and Cox picked up that ankle and got the reversal, so tied at 3.
Cox ties it at 3, and you see that riding time ticking down now. With less than a minute to go in the second period. Cox tries to go to work on Atkins towards the edge of the mat.
On the edge here, both guys got to keep wrestling because as long as you have, even a toe in, it's all fair play.
There goes the toe, and there goes the whistle. 38 seconds, and riding time all but eliminated.
Thayer's building up to his feet, trying to get that escape. And out of bounds before he can get it.
Back to the center they go. 23 seconds left. Riding time building for Tommy Cox, now at 14 seconds. That riding time point may become a major factor in this match. You alluded to it already, Dak, but Atkins to start down in the third. Could escape and earn that point. If Cox is able to accrue 60 seconds of riding time here, it would in essence negate that possibility.
That's right. Riding time it can make and break a match. Thayer's he's got to keep building because if you're slacking on bottom, you can get hit for stalling.
Tied at 3 after 2 here at 125.
Thayer's going to choose neutral here because he knows that he can take Cox down because he already got the 1. So
and maybe didn't like the way things were feeling
on bottom.
Cox. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Thayer, he likes that inside knee pull, so he's going to look to shoot in on Cox's right leg. Just pull the knee in and spin behind. Usually finishes it bringing the leg up, but a lot of variability with Cox's shot defense tonight.
Tariq Wilson, Josh Feinsilver on deck.
Cox with a shot of his own here. No 2. So the ref's looking.
And there's the takedown. Yep. Cox earns the 2 points, 5-3. He pulls ahead.
So the ref was over there looking for back exposure. If Thayer had gone to his back, you can get pinned without getting taken down first.
Tommy Cox, after what looked to be a bit of a shaky start, honestly, it was a boxing match, right? You would have graded that very much that first round for Atkins. wasn't able to score. That's where that defense came in, kept it close, really kept himself in the match, and now has built a 5-3 lead here with less than a minute to go.
Right, yeah, it's just smart, solid wrestling.
A lot of the points that Tommy Cox scored were in the latter stages. I feel like he may have won this if he goes on to win it in that first 45 seconds or a minute or so.
That's right, yeah. Fighting off, defending those shots early on, kept him from going down in the first. So
riding time now secured. So it's going to take something special from Thayer Atkins. Tommy Cox looking to ride this one out here at 125. We'll go back to the center. Impressive stuff for the sophomore out of Deer Park, New York.
He's up essentially 6-3. So Thayer will need a takedown or an escape and a takedown or a reversal with back points to...
All in 11 seconds.
Yeah.
Tall order.
So that's a caution on Thayer. He jumped before the whistle.
Trying to anticipate the whistle there. He knows he needs to escape quickly. And that's going to do it.
Yep. Cox going to ride this one out.
NC State wins at 125. A little extra between Tommy Cox and Thayer Atkins. 6-3, the official final score. 3-0 team score in favor of the Wolfpack. Talked a little bit about the defense, and
Thayer got a little high when he was riding, and Cox got the ankle and was able to get the reversal there.
Underway at 133. Josh Finesilver, one of 4 Finesilvers we will see tonight. You were hearing that correctly. Pair of twins. And the early takedown for Wilson. Starting to improve his consistency, says Coach Papalizio. A couple of bumps in the road, as you might expect from a freshman, but really starting to come on.
And Josh he's just like his other 3 brothers. They all work really hard. They all wrestle really hard. They're the kind of people, they leave it all out on the mat during these matches.
Wilson takes Finesilver back down to the mat. Wilson leads NC State with 17 match wins this year. And Josh Finesilver, true freshman, bit inconsistent. Lost to the number 2 guy in the country, 14-11, then goes on to lose to an unranked guy in the scuffle. And so some highs and lows. You figure those start to level out a little bit as you gain some more experience.
That's right, yeah. And, there's such a big difference between high school and college wrestling. It's just a completely different level, and it takes a little bit of time, get over that learning curve. But Finesilver gets the escape, and he's got the high single. Wilson's able to defend it with comes back in with a body lock to get the takedown.
4-1 the score.
He's looking for a tilt here on the edge of the mat. Finesilver's fighting hard.
Finesilver able to inch his way nearly off the mat. It's a chance to start things over in the center. Wilson on top. Already almost a minute of riding time for the redshirt freshman from Steubenville, Ohio.
Finesilver gets the second escape.
Wilson's only lost 4 times this year. 2 of them are to one of his teammates, and the other 2 are to guys in the top 10. So he's been very consistent.
He's a tough, solid guy. Finesilver stuffs the shot, gets a takedown of his own.
Back and forth we go here at 133. Now tied at 4, and Finesilver will try to chip away at that riding time. Now under a minute.
Got blood time, Wilson. And Finesilver here on top. The Finesilver brothers are very good on top. Look for him to break him down.
There's that shot you talked about, and you see the heads collide. I think that's where Wilson was cut. Looked like he caught one on the eyebrow. Just a collision there. Headgear doesn't do a whole lot for the forehead, face region.
No, yeah, you're left wide open. But, Wilson went in for a great shot. Finesilver changed his level and met him. Was able to stop his forward momentum and create some of his own. Feinsilver's going to start on top. Like I said, he's a tough on top. He'll look to throw a leg in and work some tilts. Wilson's going to try and get up and out as quick as he can.
Wilson redshirted last season, went 21-7. Going to break the arms of Feinsilver there, get out of his grasp, and does.
And he's in on a quick reshot there. He's got the cradle locked up.
And that's it. There's the pin. Tariq Wilson, just like that. Amazing how quickly things can change. Back and forth for a moment. The fall to Wilson.
Yeah, so he had the leg. Feinsilver dropped his head to go in, and Wilson just locked up the cradle, and that was that.
It's a helpless feeling, I would imagine.
Yeah, not much.
Josh Feinsilver. So 6 points for NC State after the pin. 9-0 for the Wolfpack. And 141, Kevin Jack, one of the very best in the country, number 2 in the nation. Jeremiah Reitz, true freshman for Duke, has his hands full. Jack did not allow a single takedown in ACC duels last year.
Kevin Jack, he's one of those special wrestlers that they never stop moving, they never stop scoring, and they just, rack them up, and they destroy people. He doesn't just beat them, he takes them, picks them apart. And he's in on that single, but Reitz is fighting tough. Hasn't given up the points yet. He's going to bail there, and he'll give it up now. 2
points given up, and then there'll be some blood time.
Bleeding from his eye.
Yeah, just below the right eye. 2-time All-American is Kevin Jack. 9th NC State wrestler to have more than one All-American honor. 5th one in program history with 100-plus wins. Got that 100th against Nebraska earlier this year. In range of the program record, needs to get to 122 to tie.
So he caught the arm, broke him down to his hip, and Reitz bailed, and he got the takedown there.
Yeah, at what point, Dak, do you realize that maybe something's a lost cause and it's better to give up 2 than maybe surrender something worse?
Yeah, so when Jack grabbed that arm, Reitz could see, he could either go to his back, give up not just 2, but another 4 near fall points. And at that point, when you know you're going to give up near fall, you just bail, give up the 2, and work for an escape. It's better to be down by 2 than 6.
Yeah, even I know that math.
Yeah.
Even I can handle that. Jack, 3rd last year at the NCAAs, 2-time defending ACC champ at 141. Just beat Dean Heil, the 2-time defending NCAA champion from Oklahoma State. And these 2 teams, or those 2 teams, NC State and Oklahoma State, dueled in Italy.
Yeah, it was the tussle for the troops on the naval base in Naples.
A great trip for the Wolfpack. Didn't get the dual win. Split the matches, though. 5 matches apiece, a couple of bonus points for the Cowboys. They wrestle right in front of us.
They're right on the edge, and that's the time you never stop because, people think they're out of bounds. They get a little slack, and you can give up near fall, get pinned. So you gotta fight until you hear the whistle.
Reitz has been struggling a little bit. Talking to Coach Lanham, just needs to try to find some confidence, needs a breakthrough win. Obviously, this one would be a massive breakthrough.
Yeah. Coming in as a true freshman, like we said with Feinsilver, with Josh, it's a completely different level of wrestling, and there's a learning curve there, and it can take a toll on your confidence if you're wrestling a lot of tough guys and you're not winning the matches. But it's big for him to step up and fill that starting spot as a true freshman.
See Jack looking to try to tilt Reitz for some of those back points.
Can score up to 4, which can really turn a match around. So he's got the arm bar with a wrist. He's going to look to tilt him over the side. And
you see the referee
getting some
counting.
swipes. So he's got the 4 locked up. Now he's letting go of that hold so that he can get his 4, and then so a lot of times people will let go. They'll go back to it if it's working, and he's got the arm bar. Now he's looking for a arm bar and half here. Run him over the head and look for a pin. He's getting his near fall again.
Trying for the pin.
Reitz is fighting hard.
Perhaps saved by the bell there. Another 4 points for Kevin Jack, but 10-0, you start getting into technical fall territory.
That's right, yeah. If you're up by 15 points, tech fall, that's 5 team points. So that's what Kevin Jack's gonna be looking at now, while still obviously looking for the pin.
This is just a little bit of a baptism by fire for Reitz against a guy like Kevin Jack, who will escape and earn his 11th point.
He's got that
quickly on a shot.
2:18 of riding time already built up.
You just see the activity. You mentioned it already, Dak. Just does not stop. Does Kevin Jack?
Yeah, and that's why he racks those points up so quick. Is he does not stop moving. Now he got that inside leg, and he's going for the Turk tilt. He's getting the swipes. Got 2 there, so he's got another 2 near fall, and that's that.
That would be it. 2 is all that was necessary. 15-0 technical fall for the Wolfpack. Like a 14-0 lead in the team score. A technical fall for Kevin Jack. He stayed a commanding lead in the team portion. Now Brennan Lenaud, a sophomore from Lexington, Ohio, against Bo Donahue at 149. Donahue earning the starting spot in early December, ranked for the very first time in his career.
That's all. You know, he's got great training partners and weights above and below him. You got an awesome coach, and you know they've got a couple smaller guys that he can wrestle with. Obi Blanc was a wrestler for Lock Haven and Oklahoma State, and he's a phenomenal wrestler. He's an animal. So that's probably who Donahue's been training with every day.
Talk about depth in wrestling, and people might wonder why that's an issue and why that matters, right? Because it's not like you're substituting guys in like you would in football or basketball, but it's in the room where it makes a difference in the competition you face every day. Yeah,
your training partners build you into the wrestler that you are. And if you don't have good training partners, you're not gonna get better, because if you don't have someone pushing you consistently day to day, it's hard to improve.
Donahue 2 losses on the year, one of them to a teammate, the other former NCAA champ Jason Surtsis.
He's in on a low single, comes out the back, gets the 2-point takedown there.
2-0 in favor of Donahue. Donahue, a late takedown against Boulawal in the number 15 149-pounder for Oklahoma State during that duel we've been talking about. Late takedown to force overtime and ended up winning it in overtime. So a great top 15 win for the senior.
Yeah,
looking for some back exposure here.
He's got that foot in, so he's gonna get this. He's gonna get 2 for the near fall there. Before they rolled out of bounds, he got 2 swipes with his foot in.
Yeah, there's a lot to coordinate there for Donahue, right? He's trying to wrestle the guy while keeping one foot.
Right. Yeah. You see a lot of guys contort themselves in weird positions to stay in bounds, get those points.
Donahue on top, building that riding time toward a minute. 4-0 here in the first. Already potentially thinking about bonus points.
That's right, yeah. Anytime you're wrestling, these top-ranked guys, that's what they're always looking for is bonus points. And Lenaud's, he's fighting tough on bottom, trying not to give up any unnecessary extra points like the near fall. But when you're wrestling a guy like Donahue, it's tough because he's a tough wrestler. Now gets in a 1-point escape.
Not on the board. 4-1 is the score. Minute 19 of riding time for Donahue. Under 30 seconds to go in the first. See if Lenaud can get to some offense here.
Yeah, he's...
Donahue in on that leg.
Right now, looking to fight the takedown, and Donahue's looking, was looking to get a takedown or possibly put him on his back, but just got into a bit of a funky scramble there. Looks like Lenaud's having some issues with his headgear.
Snaps the chin strap. Lenaud will start down, look for the early escape. Donahue going to add to that riding time a little bit early for Lenaud. Looking for every tenth of a second, millisecond that he can to try to escape the grasp of Donahue. NC State thus far has been as advertised. No question about it. One of the very best programs in America.
Yeah, and that started when, Coach Popolizio came in. He changed
a lot
the culture overall of the team. And guys that had been struggling kind of broke out and improved under his coaching. Donahue gets another 2 near fall and kind of just lets Lenaud up.
That's not always easy to do. Everybody talks about changing a culture, but there's some tough conversations to be had a lot of times when you do that, and sometimes people can't change with the culture. And changes have to be made that aren't necessarily popular.
Yeah.
But he's pushed all the right buttons, no question about it, in Raleigh, North Carolina. That program is perhaps on more of an upward trajectory than any in the country. A lot of the powerhouses have been powerhouses for a while. I don't know if anybody's taken the step up that NC State has in recent years.
Yeah. The only other one that I can think of is Penn State when they got Cale Sanderson as the head coach.
That's been all right for them.
Yeah. They were a tough program, but then you go and you win, 6 out of 7 national titles, and it just kind of shows that you've completely changed the program around. From a high-level program to the best program.
And I think with it, too, and Duke is still in the building stages of its program. Obviously, NC State, well-documented what they've done. I think it's propelled the ACC to a different level in terms of the respect, perhaps nationally, Virginia Tech. Looked at a little differently. You're going to have your powerhouses, obviously, in the Big 12 and the Big 10, but the ACC has improved in recent years.
The ACC, with a little bit of a switch around. We used to have Maryland, now we got Pittsburgh, but the ACC has definitely built itself into a better conference, and it's showing when ACCs roll around. We're getting more automatic bid qualification spots at each weight than we have historically, which is helpful because then they get more chances to get exposure on that national level and All-American status. Donahue's going to get a quick reversal there.
Impressive stuff from Donahue. 10-2 in favor of Donahue now. You talked about the automatic bids for those maybe that are new to the sport. Top 33 at the end of the season. Qualify the weight, as they say.
Yeah, they have the coaches, the NCAA coaches poll, and the coaches rank the wrestlers in the top 33. How many guys you have at each weight class is how many automatic bids you get to the tournament. And we used to be 1, 2, maybe 3. Now we're getting 2 to 4.
Yeah, 5 in some cases.
Yeah, some weight classes are they're stacked. There's only 6 teams in the ACC.
Yeah.
So if you have, 5 bids, that's You only have to win one match. And Donahue's looking for the tech fall now.
12-4 is the score.
He's got that inside leg. He's going to look for... Here he's got cradle, or he just switches completely to the armbar. Worked before, white change.
About 20 seconds to go. The margin is 10, make it 11. And you count the riding time.
That'll give him the major decision. 14 points. And Lenaud's got a fight here. Don't give up the pin. Don't give up the tech fall.
So it'll be a major decision for Bo Donahue, and NC State's had a little bit of everything. Decision, technical fall, pin, the major. I think this should be one of the best matches of the evening.
Yeah.
As Donahue raises his hand in victory. Hayden Hidley, number 3 in the country, against Mitch Finesilver, number 11 in the nation at 157. Looking at two guys that could do some real serious damage at NCAAs later this year.
Yeah, that's right. Both these guys are tough, solid wrestlers. Mitch, since he's gotten into college, he's done two things. He's improved his wrestling dramatically, and he's gotten bigger every year.
And both these guys, you just see, just ripped. I mean, not a lot of body fat to be found.
A headlock there.
Hidley looking to end this one early. Finesilver hanging on.
He's got to fight. He's got a belly down here.
Hidley just leaning. Finesilver doing all the work here.
It's close. He's making it barely by inches here. And he's just got to keep rolling into him, and Hidley's got to find a way to get that other shoulder down.
Finesilver just using every ounce of energy he has. Hidley's just going for a ride here.
Yeah, and
this is taking its toll, even if it doesn't end in a pin.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy to fight off your back, especially with that headlock. You know, you can't breathe very well. Guys choking you and laying on your face, can't breathe, but Mitch is fighting like an animal here to get off his back, stay off his back.
Absolutely incredible. I'll tell you what, and right back at it, Mitch Finesilver maybe showing himself something there.
Yeah, that was a hard fought.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, that
didn't take much, by the way, but
yeah, but Hidley gets a takedown and he gets the 4 near fall points, so he's up 6-1 early in a very tough match.
Well, there's no doubt that Hidley made some serious inroads there into the gas tank of Mitch Finesilver, but
yeah, thankfully for Finesilver though, he's got, you know,
he's got a reserve tank,
50-gallon gas tank. This guy can go forever.
Well, as soon as he got up, he went right back at Hidley.
Yeah, he's a nonstop wrestler, so he's going to wrestle till his body gives out.
You wonder a little bit too, Hidley, part of him has to wonder, how am I still wrestling right now?
Yeah.
And look, he's number 3 in the country, right? He knows what he's doing out there, but at least a fraction of his brain right now must be wondering how in the world Mitch Finesilver survived that.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a headlock, it's 99% of the time it's a sure pin.
A round of applause from the Duke fans. Don't want to understate what Hidley was able to do, by the way, because that was incredible show of strength, but a great shot there from our production crew, just the inches separating Finesilver's shoulder from the mat.
He just kept fighting, kept driving into him, and was finally able to get his hips to the mat and get that escape there. But here, Finesilver is tough on top. This is where he's gonna look to eat into that riding time and
maybe try to eat into the energy a bit of Hidley.
Yeah, make Hidley hold his weight. Mitch, like the other fine silver, he's good on top. He's got great riding skills. Gets a lot of near fall points when he's on top, so he could look for that there.
There's the escape.
Gets the escape, and at that point, sometimes when they're up, it's no use still fighting, holding on with fingertips. Just give them the escape. Go for a takedown.
Fine Silver was able to get that riding time under a minute.
He's gonna look for Fine Silver to stay on the offensive here because he's got that 6-point deficit to try and erase this period in the next. He's gonna, go at him with everything he's got. But Hidley's not an easy guy to take down.
No, he is not. Wide shoulders too for Hidley.
Yeah, and as good as he is, hasn't lost a single match the entire season so far. So he obviously knows what he's doing out there. And
14-0 versus 18-2 here in this match.
Doesn't want to give anything up here.
Hidley beating Joey Lavallee of Missouri when he was number 2 in the country. That helped him realize how good he was.
Yeah.
Coach Papalizio said he didn't even know how good he could be until he started beating some of these guys. Beat number 2, Tyler Berger of Nebraska when he was number 7.
Yeah, a lot of times, guys, all it takes for a guy to realize what they can do is one solid win, and then it kind of snowballs from there because you get that confidence, and you go into the match knowing, hey, I can win this match. Just because he's ranked doesn't mean he's going to beat me.
Quick escape for Fine Silver. Needs to go to work on offense here. Fine Silver, a 2-time NCAA qualifier. Does have a top 20 win this year. Second on the team with 18 wins. One of the captains along with his twin brother, Zach. A couple others as well. Jacob Casper, a captain.
He's attacking, but
there's a takedown for Hidley.
Hidley's he reshot there. That's that nonstop offense that you got to have if you want to be a top-notch wrestler.
Fine Silver escapes.
Hidley's got riding time right now at a minute 4, but that could be erased if Fine Silver were to get a takedown here.
A takedown here would almost be a 3-point takedown because you'd probably get that riding time down under a minute as well.
That's right. Yeah, it'd be big for him.
Right now, Hidley on the edge of that major decision. Looking for bonus points here at 157. State bonus points in 3 of the 4 matches thus far.
Good shot defense from Fine Silver there.
Final 15 seconds, good activity all the way through for both of these guys. Fine Silver looking for the takedown.
There we go.
Get it.
Takedown. He's going to erase the riding time.
Just by a hair? I don't know. That seemed awkward there. Looked like the riding time should have actually ticked below a minute. Either way, it's not going to affect the match, and it won't make it a major decision or anything like that. But I believe it'll go down as 10-5 in favor of Hayden Hidley, getting the decision at 157. NC State takes the lead, 21-0 in the team competition. We'll take a break. Plenty more to come from Cameron Indoor Stadium here on ACC Network Extra. The Blue Devils looking to regroup. NC State well ahead. Back here in Cameron Indoor Stadium in the midst of our 165-pound match. Brian Hammond for NC State Zach finds silver. 3 fine silvers in a row for the Blue Devils at 57, 65, and 74. Zach, another twin brother. I mentioned the 2 sets of twins, he and Mitch, twin brothers.
Zach looking to get the first fine silver win of the night. Hammond going to try and deny that. Gets the takedown and straight into a tilt there. He doesn't get any near fall because he just got 1 swipe there. You got to get at least 2 to get that 2 near fall.
You can see NC State is so well schooled in that technique. Almost every wrestler at every weight we've seen go to the tilt, trying for those back points.
Yeah, and it's just good wrestling, good coaching. You know, if you can rack up the points early, get in your opponent's head and pick the pace up, and just, you know, you can blow a match out in the first period.
Zach finds silver, up from 141 last year, trying to find his confidence at this new weight. Was an NCAA qualifier in the past. Hammond, runner-up in the ACC last year, did qualify for NCAAs. 2-time starter at 165. Tell you what, if you start for this NC State team in consecutive years, you're doing something right.
It's a tough squad to break into, but that's why they do so well. We talked about it before, that depth on the team helps everyone get better.
It's a false start for Hammond.
Jump the gun. Zach looking to sit out, trying to avoid the tilt while getting an escape here. Hammond trying to pull him, suck him back and run that half and get a tilt, but Zach's been successful on defending so far.
Over a minute of riding time now.
None of the matches have come down to it, but riding time is an important factor that you got to keep your eye out for during these matches.
NC State is, for the most part, either really old or really young. A lot of seniors, a lot of freshmen in the lineup tonight. That senior class, really the core, that first class that Coach Papalizio brought in that helped change the culture. And you see a lot of guys with really small numbers next to their name now. You're going to see one here in just a bit. Pete Renda, 184, redshirt senior, has been around forever.
Yeah.
In Raleigh, number 3 in the country now.
And Pete Renda's just another one of those solid guys. Tough wrestler. He's getting some near fall now. And he gets the 4 right at the buzzer.
The final 4 seconds of the first period. We'll see how they score it. It'll be all 4. It's a tough end of the first period where the last 4 seconds are spent with your back exposed to the mat.
Fine silver defers choice. Heyman's going to go down.
Fine silver with some work to do on top here.
Got to eat into that riding time, but Heyman wants to get a quick escape, keep his momentum going. Fine silver riding heavy. He's putting all of his body weight on, like, right at the top of Heyman's back, making him hold his body weight while he throws that leg in there. With that leg, it gives him a little bit of leverage to use his hip pressure to kind of break him down to his stomach and eventually work for a tilt, get some exposure. Looks like he's riding hard, but Heyman's got that arm pulled across. You don't want to get into that kind of cross-body ride when you got that leg in, because then it exposes you a chance of getting riding high. They come out the back door.
Stalemate there, and perhaps benefiting Zach Finesilver because he looked to be in somewhat of a precarious position.
Yeah, he was a little high, so that might have helped him, but it also could help Heyman now, because now
with the reset.
Yeah, it doesn't have the leg in. He's got to get that back in. He goes straight to it here, but yeah, he goes over that. He grabs around the neck there and then hooks behind the other leg, and it just gives him a little bit of a pressure position. So he's got him broken down to his stomach, but Heyman's got his foot, and that's hard to ride legs and you got your foot pulled up to your waist there, but he's able to get it back out. And now he's got the leg and he's going to drive his hips in, arch Heyman's back, and try to work for a tilt here.
It's been good work for Fine Silver here in the second.
Yeah, rode the riding time out. That's not a factor anymore at this point. And he's still working hard for a tilt. And that's, if getting ridden out for a whole period it's rough. It takes up a lot of energy trying to continuously base up. But Heyman's he's a tough guy, so he's going to keep on fighting.
Fine Silver doing a lot of work here.
He's going to have to really, really pick it up in the third period to do away with that 6-point deficit. Fine Silver's going to go top, so he's going to look to get those near fall points. Break him back down, get that leg back in, and try and turn him.
Yeah, it's interesting. You don't necessarily, right, you think you might be able to get the escape point quickly, get on the board. Fine Silver thinking he could do more damage on the ground. Tries to get that leg in between again.
Trying to get that leg in, break him back down like he does there, and just work to get that. He gets that tilt where he hooks the leg, comes around the head, and cranks their body over. Heyman's going to get warned for stalling. His head's down on the mat. He's not actively basing up or working for an escape, and so a lot of guys, when their gas tank runs out, they get dinged for stalling in that third period. But he's fighting the tilts, obviously well enough. Hasn't gotten tilted yet. Fine Silver's really got to put some work in here in this third period, try and get some back points.
Just about a minute to go in the third period.
He's got the leg in. He's going back into that kind of far side cradle position. He's not going for a cradle anymore, but pushing that leg down, breaking him down to his stomach, and working that tilt here. And what he does there is he cranks the leg up, so it puts a lot of pressure on your back. Heyman got hit for stalling again, so that's a point for Fine Silver. And Fine Silver's got the riding time point now, so essentially he's down by 4. If he could get 4 near fall points here, that would tie the match.
Yeah, he's worked his way back to a position where if he can execute one move, he can send this to overtime.
That's right, yeah.
That's what all this work has been leading up to over the past 2 periods. 15 seconds, though, to do it. Hammond does not look like he wants to oblige, though. Fine Silver trying to do everything he can. There's another stall and another point, but one at a time is not going to do it. And Hammond gets the victory at 165.
6-3.
Interesting match. I think that's one that Fine Silver might take a little confidence away from, I would think. Good work there the final 2 periods. And it was a bit of a rough go there at the start, but
referee accidentally raised Fine Silver's hand.
He'll take it.
Yeah.
That would really raise his confidence.
Right, yeah.
If you have fewer points and still win the match, that's not a bad way to go.
But Fine Silver controlled the match. He just gave up those 6 points early on and just couldn't come back from it.
24-0 NC State. Matt's Fine Silver and Daniel Bullard. Bullard, number 20 in the country. Matt Fine Silver into the rankings, depending on what poll you're looking at.
Coaches poll, he's at 27 now, and that's the coaches rank the wrestlers at every single weight. I think the referees are gonna take a look here at the replay, see if there the possibility of takedown points there.
How about this? Josh Fine Silver and Matt Fine Silver are twin brothers. They wrestle 40 pounds apart from each other. Somebody explain that to me.
I don't know.
Josh is at 133, Matt's at 174.
Someone ate all the food at home.
Exactly. Something had to happen. Absolutely incredible. There you see the officials taking a look. Unfortunately, that's all the way across the gym from us, so not exactly sure.
So,
but you think it's
Bullard,
taking a look at takedown?
So So he's got the head and the arm there, and he's got the leg hooked. So they're going to look to see if points were scored, right? So there's no points scored. They're looking to see if Matt had touched his hand down to the mat while Bullard had that head and arm with the leg hook, because that could be a 2-point takedown. It would have been, 2 takedown, 1 escape, but they saw that there was no hand touch with a control position, so they didn't give him the takedown.
So instead of 2-1, it's 0-0. Bullard, the freshman, Coach Papalizio said, look, they expected him to come in and win right away, and win he has, 11-4 on the season.
Yeah, it's just
kind of a unique style.
Yeah. He's little funk from him.
It's a very professional term, yeah.
There's a guy, Kendall Cross, and he said his style is all about the funk. If it works, it works. It's and those kinds of wrestlers are hard to predict because they just do stuff that you're not used to. But both wrestlers fighting hard here. Giving up the takedown there, Feinsilver, because he touched his hand. If the guy's behind in a control position, you touch a hand, knee, or elbow, it's a 2-point takedown. But he was able to, pop back up and get the escape pretty quickly.
2-1. Matt Feinsilver had a bit of an injury, missed some time. A couple of good wins out in the state of Colorado, though, recently.
Yep, out in front of a home crowd for them.
That's right. Man,
gets the 2-point takedown there. Feinsilver takes a 3-2 lead.
Two sort of unconventional takedowns, if you will, in this match.
Feinsilver's got to be careful here because you can get pinned if you're on top of the guy. If you give up your back, you can get pinned. It's called a defensive pin. Doesn't happen very often, but
better look here for Feinsilver.
Yeah, he's got that leg in, kind of how his brother was riding. Same ride, but he's looking more heavily for the cradle there. He's looking to lock up the head and the leg. Couldn't get it, so he let him escape and get a fresh start on their feet.
3-3 here at 174. Coach Glenn Lanham thinks Matt Feinsilver has podium potential at some point in his career at the NCAAs. Thinks he's got a really good shot to qualify this year as a freshman.
Yeah, and he does. He's a solid wrestler, but Bullard's no slouch. Gets the takedown there. He's going for the tilt, like a lot of his teammates get the near fall points. But Feinsilver, he's got solid basics, and he's tough on top. So he has the potential to make some noise this year. Bullard, though, already in the top 20. It's a hard-fought running escape at the buzzer.
At the buzzer. We've seen a lot of points given at the buzzer both ways, and Feinsilver just becomes a sprinter there at the end and get it to 5-4.
All it takes is just a split-second relaxation of one guy, and the other guy can get the point.
We saw Bullard trying to hang on for dear life, a little bit like the Snyder-Gwiz match in the heavyweights. Snyder just hung on, just clung to him, admitted it was probably a stall move, but has to be for a certain number of seconds. There weren't that many seconds left, and ended up getting the victory.
That's right. Feinsilver looking to suck him back, get a tilt. Bullard is throwing himself into Feinsilver, trying to grab his head and get a reversal there. But, and anytime you go and get into this position, it's called a crab ride. You're ready for those kind of slam body moves.
A roll through that time from Bullard.
Yeah, and Feinsilver's he's hitting that crab, and he's trying to hook around the head and suck him back, get him it's called getting him into the saddle, get his hips into his hips and pull him back for a tilt. Bullard's doing a great job of fighting. Every time Feinsilver pulls him back, he just rolls through.
Tell you what, I'd be shocked if both of these guys didn't qualify the weight at 174 for the ACC.
Oh, yeah, I would be surprised as well. Both of these guys are tough, solid wrestlers. Feinsilver's got the cradle locked up. He's sucking that other leg down. And so he's got the leg in there. He's got the cradle on the far side. Look for him to belly him out, pull him back into a cradle to get Bullard on his back. Feinsilver.
Bullard able to escape that cradle.
Using those long spider arms there. Bullard's kind of turning in. Feinstover almost got the cradle again, but Bullard was able to hip into him before he got it. Again with the suck back, no points either way. Feinstover's got riding time in his favor at this point.
He's really dominated in this second period.
Yeah, and as you can see, the Feinstovers are tough on top. If they get on top of a guy and they get that leg in, you're going to be there for a while.
I want to know how much furniture they broke in the house.
Probably all of it.
Yeah. They just don't even, they live in a tent now. Yeah. I mean, it's just, those guys probably grew up just climbing all over each other.
Yeah. And the amazing thing about the Feinstover brothers is they're hardworking on the mat, they're hardworking off the mat, and they're some of the most respectable young men that you will ever meet. All of them are always just top-notch, very good kids all the time.
So Bullard getting some attention from the trainer, and both wrestlers having a conversation with training staffs, coaching staffs. Daniel Bullard, all 4 losses of his this year to ranked opponents. Redshirted last year, wrestled at a couple of different weights, 11-7 at 165, a bit better at 174, 4-1, so they stuck with the 174 as twin brothers redshirting this year. Must be something about twins.
Yeah,
in
twins
the sport of
in
wrestling.
There's a lot of them. Feinstover chose down because he's only down by a point. Got the riding time point, so he's up and out. Tied the match at 5.
Effectively winning.
Yes. With that, he's got, the riding time basically, locked up at this point. But don't look for him to slow down. He's not going to slow down because he's a workhorse. He's going to keep attacking, keep going after him because this would be a big win for him. Top 20 ranked guy in Bullard. But
likewise for Bullard, both these guys looking for a really good RPI win.
That's right, yeah.
It's a takedown for Feinstover.
Goes up 7-5, 8-5 with the riding time, and he's still fighting for the near fall. This is what I'm talking about. The Feinstover brothers, they work very hard on the mat. They work very hard off the mat. But here on the mat, he's winning. He's got riding time locked up, but he's not going to stop. He wants bonus points.
And riding time is secured, so he will get the riding time point for this match. Does work with under 50 seconds to go. Here at 174, NC State well ahead in the team competition, 24-0. But here at 174, one of the better matches we've seen all evening.
He's still looking for that tilt here, that Turk driving. He's pushing the knee in, trying to break that knee down or pull the foot out with that crossface there to get the near fall.
Under 20 seconds to go.
Goes back to that cradle, see if he can get something there. Bullard's fighting hard, though.
And Bullard in a bit of survival mode at this point.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give up any extra points, but Feinstover gets a well-deserved, hard-fought win, 8-5. That's huge for him. It's a top 20 win there.
Matt Feinstover gets the first win of the night for the Blue Devils. Makes it 24-3. Second top 20 win of the year and of his career for Matt Feinstover. Now it's Caden Russell, true freshman, against Pete Renda, number 3 in the country. Coach Papalizio says he's not really firing on all cylinders just yet, but he's 15-0. Shows you how good he is.
Yeah. Oh, Russell in on a quick shot, but Renda defends tough. And Caden Russell, he was a tough kid in high school, and he's had a little bit of an adjustment period here, stepping into college. But I wouldn't be surprised if he starts, doing some big things because he is a tough wrestler. Just been a little inconsistent so far in the adjustment period. Renda looking to get the takedown here, and he does.
Pete Renda ahead 2-0. Closing in on 100 career wins. Wins over the number 6 and number 15 wrestlers at 184 this year.
Renda gets the roll through tilt, gets 2 near fall points. They go out of bounds. And Renda, he's the kind of guy, he could win really big or he could win, you know, a lot of really close matches. He's the kind of guy that wears on you and wears you out, draws you down, and kind of tires his opponents out.
Just physically, you wonder with Russell, a true freshman, Renda, fifth-year senior, just the amount of time spent in the room, not only the wrestling room, but the weight room, strength and conditioning.
Right, yeah.
A ton of experience.
That's right, yeah. The experience that Renda's had wrestling the toughest guys in the country. You know, some of his coaches are All-Americans, so he's got great work in the room, but he's also had a lot of on-the-mat live experience being a fifth year. But, you know, Caden's got to work up, base up, because we've seen it before, you know, the stalling call from not actively basing up. You know, you can't just sit there and fight to not go to his back. He gives up near fall. Renda's got 4 near fall points locked up.
He'll have to let go in order to get the 4, and he does. 8-0 for Renda, riding time over a minute. Renda, All-American in 2016, redshirted last year. Upset 4 top 10 seeds, including 2 in the top 5 in 2016, a 3-time NCAA qualifier, and obviously on his way back there this year and on his way potentially to a technical fall, another 4 swipes.
Yeah, he's going to probably look for the pin here. He's got the ankle and the head. Never mind, lets him roll through. He's going to look like he's going to maybe cut him here. No, never mind. Sometimes when they hold the head down, they're going to let him up and then, you know, go for another takedown.
23 seconds to go in the first period. 12-0 for Pete Renda. Renda looking for the second technical fall of the evening for NC State. Kevin Jack had one at 141. Renda lifting Russell into the air.
Good old-fashioned mat returns. Those are always exciting.
You heard a couple of gasps from the crowd.
Yeah. 5 seconds to go in the first period. Period that was dominated quite clearly by Pete Renda. Over 2 minutes of riding time in a 3-minute period. Yeah, Russell's going to defer. Renda's going to choose down. All he needs is an escape and a takedown. He's got the tech fall. But, you know, obviously Caden Russell's going to look to stay on top, ride him a little bit. Little suck back there. Renda catches him with a cow catcher, puts him on his back. He escapes. And that's it. 16-1, or 18-1, I guess.
It might have been a reversal maybe, and then a takedown, and then an escape. Either way, 18-1 is the final score, and another technical fall for NC State.
Now we got Machiavello and Alex Shank. Shank's bumping up from 184 to 197. Machiavello did the same thing.
Yep.
Both of these guys, they've wrestled each other before. Machiavello won last year when they wrestled. Machiavello's just he's a tough, solid wrestler. Alex Shanks, same way. Not real flashy, but, you know, solid basics, smart wrestling.
12-1 on the year for Machiavello, 15-9 for Shank. Shank already has 2 more wins than he had all of last season. Solid season thus far for the senior.
That's right. He improved tremendously over the summer, and, you know, maybe the jump in weight helped him, not cutting as much weight. You got more energy to take into your matches.
Talked a little bit about training partners in the room. Machiavello trains with Renda quite a bit. Obviously, that's helped him become a better wrestler. Now number 4 in the country is the senior.
Yeah, he
gets a takedown, looking for, only got the 1 swipe.
Yep.
Good job by Shank there to control his body.
You need blood time, Shank.
Machiavello will go back and talk with the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Shank will get some advice as well. One of the team captains getting his nose cleaned up a bit.
Looks like it's a bridge of his nose is cut.
Only loss for Machiavello this year was in that Oklahoma State duel. Lost to Preston Weigel, the number 4 wrestler at 197, or at least was number 4 at the time. Machiavello's now number 4. We get another look at how the 2 points were scored.
A little snap and then just a go-behind single there, and Shank jumped to fight, but Machiavello got both of his ankles, and then Shank had to bail, and Machiavello got the takedown. But Shank starts on bottom, a little short sit. Machiavello looking to hold him down, but Shank gets the escape and goes right back in, working for a takedown. Got that cow catcher, almost put him on his back. Little excitement here in Cameron.
It's a lot of weight getting thrown around there.
That is
400 pounds or so.
Shaking the floor.
Yeah. Good match here at 197.
Yeah,
should have a really good one at heavyweight coming up next as well.
That's right. Yeah, it's fun to see the upper weights more athletic, because then you just get a little bit more action out of them. A little bit more exciting matches.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes you get these bigger guys just kind of lean into each other a little bit, right? Not much scoring.
Yeah.
This does not seem like the kind of match. There's 2 guys that moved up from 184, so they're not historically bigger guys.
Yeah.
Kind of kept their speed with them as they've gone up a weight class and added some strength.
That's right, yeah, and that can really be an asset at the higher level weights. If you watch the national tournament, you know, the 197-pounders and the heavyweights, they're not big, sluggish guys. They're fast, they're athletic, and they move like a smaller guy, maybe not like a 125 or 133 where they're kind of, you know, all over the place, but they move like smaller guys because they have that athleticism that's necessary to, you know, beat these big, tough guys. Machiavello gets another takedown there on that same single leg shot.
4-1 the score. Building some riding time is Machiavello, who's at more of a natural weight now. Coach Papalizio saying 184 wasn't really a fit for him. 197 much better, can keep his speed while adding that power. He goes to work now on Shank.
And that power that you talk about and that speed, that's not only built in the wrestling room, but it's built in the weight room. And you can tell the top programs, they have that power and that athleticism because their strength conditioning coaches put the time in and they train them specifically to their sport. And that's something that we're seeing improving here at Duke.
You see so much, too. A lot of wrestling weight work is done with bodies. You know, it's not just necessarily pounding weights. It's carrying guys and lifting guys. You sort of need that operational strength, right? It doesn't matter if you can bench 500 pounds if you don't have the flexibility in your upper body anymore.
Right, yeah, it's that functional strength, you know, that sport-specific strength. Because if you look at the Russians, they don't look very strong, but they are freakishly strong because they're strong with what they do. They may not be able to squat 350, 400 pounds, but they'll pick you up and launch you on your head.
Machiavello escapes, so it's 5-1. Riding time not a factor here in the second period. $1:10 to go.
Yeah, Shank's going to look for his offense here. Machiavello, just like everyone else on the team, is a non-stop movement wrestler. Never stops looking to score. He's got the tabletop single, but Shank's got the whizzer there controlling that arm. The takedown is not awarded until he can Machiavello can limp arm out. Brings it up to the feet, looks for a sweep. Finally, Shank goes down, he gets a sweep, but Shank's up and out quick.
Shank just shrugged him off.
Yeah, just grab that knee and
that was
get off me.
Crazy. It's also interesting, too, you see sometimes when these wrestlers get into these odd positions, they almost stop for a second and try to figure out, okay, what am I going to do here?
Yeah.
What do I need to do with this leg, this arm? You saw that for a second because, like you were saying, Shank kind of had an arm and Machiavello sort of had the leg, and both guys were trying to figure out, all right, what's the next move here?
Yeah, and sometimes wrestling is a chess match. You know, you got to anticipate what your guy's going to do next and move towards that. Machiavello in on a deep double. Shanks saved by the bell there.
7-2 headed into the third period.
Shanks going to choose down. He's gotten 2 escapes already. Riding time currently not a factor. So he's going to work to get a quick escape here and look to turn around with some takedown offensive points of his own.
Relatively easy escape. Easy for me to say. By Shank.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, as I sit here on the sidelines. Now Shank will have to get into some offense. Machiavello probably now trying to find that balance between not giving up anything dangerous while still staying active enough.
You take less risky shots because you've got a lead, but you don't want to stop and stop wrestling. You can't wrestle to not lose. You have to wrestle to win.
You see Machiavello.
Yeah, Machiavello's taking shots. Shank hits that snap, goes for a go behind, but it's a no-go.
70 seconds left in the third period. Machiavello looking for win number 13 on the season to go along with a single loss. Shank has wrestled a lot of matches already.
Yeah. You can rack up some matches with those open tournaments earlier in the year.
It's a bit of a balance to strike there as well. Not wrestling too often, right? You want to find your rhythm, gain some confidence, but not necessarily wear yourself down.
Right, yeah, you got to get some reps in before the season starts, but don't wear yourself out because then you put yourself at risk for injuries and stuff like that.
Under 30 seconds to go.
Machiavello in on another deep shot. Shank was going for some high ties there. He's fighting the shot well, but Machiavello's just going to keep on spinning there.
Yeah, and he's fine with that. 10 seconds to go. Final couple of ticks here at 197. And that's going to do it. Machiavello the win over Shank. He gets the decision. Makes it 32-3 in favor of NC State. And now the heavyweights. It's going to be Malik McDonald for the Wolfpack, Jacob Casper for Duke. Casper, 92 career wins, looking to become just the 4th Blue Devil with 100+. 14 of his 23 this year have earned bonus points. He just wrestled Michael Boykin at the Southern Scuffle. So Coach Papalizio wanting to get a look at McDonald against Casper. He gets the early takedown. Yeah, absolutely. 2-0.
Casper got to fight up, get an escape here and get back to his offense, but McDonald's going to look to hang on, get as much riding time as he can early.
Keeping that foot in. Casper drags him out. That'll shake things up a little bit.
Yeah. You can't go into any match relaxed. You got to go out, wrestle every match like you're wrestling number 1 guy in the country.
McDonald 197 last year, so both of these guys have gained weight up to heavyweight.
That's right, yeah. Casper started at 184. He was cutting a ton of weight to get down and just decided that he would be healthier and better fit for heavyweight, so he took a year off and he actually went to the Olympic Training Center and trained with the U.S. Olympic team for Greco-Roman there and competed in the Pan Am Games for the U.S. Before coming back and All-Americaning last year.
McDonald, an NCAA qualifier a year ago. Casper, of course, All-American. Down 2-1 here. McDonald looking for what will be the upset of the evening. Match is going pretty much as planned. Matt Feinsilver defeating Daniel Bullard at 174, getting a top 20 win. That's technically an upset.
Yeah, that'll boost his ranking definitely. And Casper wants to get this win so doesn't give up an upset victory here. Yeah, the heavyweights, like we said in the 25-pound match, the feel-out period, heavyweights do tend to wrestle a bit more of a slower, methodical style, but Casper does have a bit of flair with that upper body throwing as part of his repertoire. He can change a match in a split second.
Both of these guys weighing in somewhere in that 220, 230 range.
Yeah. Casper 220,
McDonald takes him down again.
He takes him down, and he's getting swipes here.
2 swipes. McDonald well ahead. 6-1 the score here in the first.
Yeah, Casper, he went high, and McDonald went low, so they threw in the block here. I think the coaches want to challenge the call.
And while the wrestlers are standing up, Coach Papalizio over to have a conversation.
There he gets the double leg, and Casper went flat to his back, so I don't know if they're looking to call a fall, if they're looking to get more near fall swipes, go from possibly 2 to 4 points.
Casper talking with the coaching staff. Referees at the monitor. Papalizio talking to Malik McDonald out of Hope Mills, North Carolina. Somewhat local product. Casper rolling through. I don't know if
it wouldn't be
a fall.
Yeah, it's not a fall. I think they're looking at the possibility of 2 instead
versus
of
4. Yeah,
on the near fall.
Yep. So we'll see. 6-2 as things stand currently. 47 seconds of riding time. To be honest, maybe even if there are 2 additional points added, I think this break in momentum maybe helps Casper a bit. Allows him to collect himself. McDonald was really dominating the match. And I think it shell-shocked the nation's number 5, at least temporarily.
Yeah, he's got to regroup, get refocused, get back out and, get after him, because you can't go into any match relaxed. You have to go in full force.
And McDonald not in any mood. Started to say at the beginning, so Boykin wrestled Casper at the Southern Scuffle. Coach Papalizio saying, look, we're kind of undecided at heavyweight. Obviously, you can see what McDonald can do. Boykin's had a great year thus far. Both these guys, McDonald 14-3 coming in, Boykin 15-4. So they don't necessarily know who the starter is at this point. So he says, look, Boykin's faced Casper. Let's put McDonald against Casper. Let's compare the 2.
And Boykin got a big win with beating Nevels from Penn State at the Southern Scuffle to make it to the finals to wrestle Casper there. And after the match, Boykin actually told Casper, I'll see you in a few weeks. So I think he was looking forward to a rematch tonight, but Papalizio, like you were saying, goes with McDonald tonight. See how it goes.
Well, whatever they looked at the monitor, it didn't change anything. 6-2 is the score. Final seconds of the first period. It's been surprising, to say the least. McDonald, of course, no slouch, but Casper, the number 5 heavyweight in the country. McDonald takes a 4-point lead into the second period. Papalizio saying, look, ride this guy for 13 seconds and you can get that minute of riding time.
That's right. Casper's got to get up and get out quick. Goes for the tripod stand-up, reaches back. He has an overhook. He's dangerous with these overhooks, and McDonald knows that. That's why he broke the tie quick.
Quick escape for Casper. 6-3 the score. Jacob Casper, though, going to have to get to some of his offense here.
That's right. He's gotta work, gotta get some shots here. He's staying active, working his snaps, but McDonald ducks down and grabs that leg as Casper goes over the head. Nothing yet, but
Casper going high, McDonald going low.
Still a tough position for McDonald. Casper's got the head and one of the wrists. Drops down. Casper's got the leg now. Almost had a cradle there, but Casper goes for big double, gets the takedown.
McDonald hopped about 35 feet. Yeah. Couldn't stay on his feet, and there's 2 points for Jacob Casper. Now he'll try to eat away at that riding time, back to within 1. Get the sense this one's going to come down to the wire here at heavyweight.
Very well could with the way that McDonald's wrestling. He's, taking it to Casper, but he's got a couple tricks up his sleeve. He's an All-American, top 5 ranked guy. He's tough, so we'll see how this goes. Maybe this takedown is what he needed to kind of, refocus, recenter himself, and get back on the offensive.
Papalizio walking over to McDonald, making sure he's well aware of the exact circumstance. I imagine when you're out there wrestling, sometimes you kind of lose track of the time, the score, the riding time. There's a lot to sort of keep track of.
You fall into the action, you forget the scoreboard. But yeah, you got to stay aware of that stuff.
See if Casper tries to ride out this last 11 seconds. He'll be on top potentially to start the third. And see what McDonald elects to do. Yeah,
he's already gotten 2 takedowns. Yeah, Papalizio's telling him to go neutral. He's already got a pair of takedowns, and you don't want to get ridden out again.
Yeah, that would have put the riding time in Casper's favor, tied the match. So
Casper shoots, McDonald's reshoots.
Casper's got that clamp with 2 hands together up top, but nothing.
Got the body lock, and Casper does well with that. With a reshotter, he'll shoot and then he'll come to the body and he'll squeeze in, break their back, and take him down. That's one of his better moves here. But both wrestlers here have to be offensive. Casper in with a nice high crotch there. Breaks McDonald down to his butt. What Casper has to do is he's got to hop over, get control of both legs, and get the takedown like he just did. That puts him in the lead here with a 7-6 lead with a little over a minute. Casper looking probably to ride him out here, get that riding time up, get the extra point. McDonald has to fight, get back up to his feet, get an escape to tie this match and work for a takedown.
Almost like you had an earpiece in with Casper. You said hop, and then about a second and a half, there he is, jumping over the top of McDonald. 7-6 the score.
That's not a move you see a lot of heavyweights attempt, but he's on the smaller side, the more athletic side, so he's able to hit those dynamic moves. He's got him sucked back here and thrown a leg in. McDonald's
trying everything.
Rolling all over the place, trying to get out.
5 seconds away from riding time for Casper with under 20 seconds to go. All right, the riding point is
in his favor.
In his favor, yeah, not necessarily clinched yet, but looks like Jacob Casper. Now, even if McDonald is able to get away, final 2 seconds, down to the mat. Casper is going to win the heavyweight match.
He's amped up now. That was an awesome win for Casper. Shows the heart, comes out, was down early and fought his way back to an 8-6 victory there.
It's a great comeback win for Jacob Casper at heavyweight. A lot of the ranked guys tonight showing why they've got numbers next to their name. But NC State as a team has a number next to its name, and they showed exactly why this evening. 32-6. That's the final score.
They're very, very dominant tonight. A lot of solid wrestling from NC State, picking up a couple pins, a couple techs. They wrestled really, really well as a team, as a whole. But Duke's got to go back to the drawing board and improve for Sunday.
Win number 24 for Jacob Casper finishes things off. But before that, technical falls for Kevin Jack at 141, Pete Renda at 184. The Wolfpack pulling away from the Duke Blue Devils in Durham, showing why they're one of the nation's very best for For Dak Adamson, I'm Ryan Craig. Thank you for all that our production crew does on a day-to-day basis, and thank you for watching us on ACC Network Extra.